Hello everybody and welcome back to the Ohio Fisherman. Today we're going to talk about flowcharts and how understanding flowcharts are going to put you on more fish, more productive areas, and save you time and money when you're going fishing. Now I'm making this video because a lot of people have sent me questions about flowcharts, exactly what I'm talking about, how to read them, and what they are. So when you're fishing tailwaters or on a river, you might have seen the sticks with the numbers on them sticking up out of the water, some electrical boxes with some gauges and sensors. Those are what your flow charts are. It's going to show the height gauges and cubic foot per second. That's cubic foot per second of flow. It's how much water is flowing through that section of that river or tailwater at a time. And when I say tailwater, what I'm talking about, a tailwater is the area below a dam, where the water is flowing out the dam. Tailwater can also be used to describe, the tail end of a hole, the tail of the hole. But for this time, we're just going to use tailwater as the area below a dam. Because in Ohio here, most of our lakes, everybody calls them lakes, are reservoirs, which are dammed up bodies of water, a creek or a river, and they always have flow going through them. The water levels fluctuate massively depending on how much water is let in and out through the dam and the tailwaters back into the river system below. And that's all controlled by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and they control the heights of the lakes and where they want the winter pools and summer pools to be, and how much water they need to let out of the dams to keep the lake where they'd like it to be. So back to understanding the flowcharts here. So if you want to look them up, all you're going to type in, let's say I want to check out Atwood. Okay, I just type into Google, I type in Atwood Dam flowchart, and it's going to give me a couple different options. It would say like Huntington, Muskegon Watershed District, or USGS. Go ahead and hit one. And it's going to give you the height gauge and the cubic foot per second gauge. Okay. Like, let's say Atwood, minimum kind of average flow would be like 50, we'll just say. Okay. And right now it's kind of pumping at 200 cubic foot per second, which is kind of moving for that specific tailwater. But for another tailwater, 200 might just be a trickle coming through, bare minimum. It really varies by body of water, what kind of flow you're looking for, okay? And the best way to figure that out is you just have to be there, okay? So you're going to be on your specific body of water, whether it's one of the steelhead tributaries below a dam, or even just a dam on a river, okay? And you're just going to have to be there, get online, put it in, look at what the flow is. And then from that point forward, you're going to know, do I want to fish this section in this flow, or do I want to try somewhere else in that flow? Because the steelhead rivers, a lot of guys living in southern Ohio, and this could go anywhere around the country, anywhere that you want to check the flows. This is extremely beneficial. Let's say you guys in southern Ohio, you want to make a drive up to northern Ohio and fish some of the tributaries, okay? Knowing what the flow is and forecasting that mixed in with the rain is going to make or break your trip. You don't want to drive, 2-3 hours to get to a place that is unfishable. That's just a waste. Why would you do that? And learning the flow charts is really going to help you. Let's say for one, let's just take the Chagrin for instance, okay? It kind of averages, maybe really low. That's a really low flow. Like, I wouldn't fish it above 300, and that's 300 coming down. You can watch them on the graphs coming down. Fishing all these tailwaters and rivers when it's coming down from a high water period is the best time to hit any tailwater or any river, when it is just becoming fishable. And it's not chocolate milk anymore, because those fish are hungry. They want to eat. They haven't maybe eaten for a couple days, being in that irritable water, and they're going to be active. And the water is not going to be gin clear. It's going to have a nice little stain, which fish really like. Now, you talk to a lot of the guys down on the Ohio River, some of the bigger river systems down there, and they're going to say chocolate milk is fine. For some fish, you know, you got your catfish, of course, but your saugeye, your sauger, your walleye, they can see a little bit better in that muddy stained water. Even chocolate milk, a lot of guys will do well for the saugeye and the sauger because they're used to that. Especially the sauger, you know, that is their life, muddy water. They're used to it. That's what they do. Other fish species, you're going to have a harder time. And you're always going to do better in slightly stained water, but I mean, you can just get there when it's chocolate milk. Maybe there's a pod of those saugeye sitting right there, and you're going to get them if they're right there, but not as well if the water was just stained, okay? So back to the flow charts here, making it or breaking it. You really just have to get there, learn the flow charts, learn what you're looking for. The next time you go to a body of water, check that flow, see what you're looking for, match it up, and in future instances, you'll know when you want to fish that body of water and when you don't. So again, just type in, let's say, Dover Dam, USGS flow charts. Type that in. It's going to show you the flow. Right now, that is kicking. That is, I think, 1,600 cubic foot per second. I've been watching those flow charts like a madman. I've been wanting to go to Charles Mill, but they're teasing me. They're just closing the dam for half a day and then opening it back up, and that's a little over an hour drive west from me in Akron. So we're kind of at that slow period here in Ohio where the lakes are unfreezing. Some guys are going out on that ice. It's not for me. I'm a big guy. I want to finish out my years of fishing. I don't want to be that guy that go through. I did, you know, thigh deep at Mogador years ago, going through water that I shouldn't have, and I don't want that mistake to happen to me again. And the steelhead rivers, tomorrow one of them in my area might be fishable, but you also have to worry about ice flows this time of year. So this is just a really rough time of year to fish in Ohio. The lakes aren't thawed out enough to really get the boats out unless you're in southern Ohio. The steelhead rivers, you have to worry about ice flows, ice jams, which can make it really tough unless you know your specific holes that do have open water. And those tailwaters are all just booming right now due to all the snow melt, this icy rain we've been having. So it's real difficult to find a good body of water to fish right now. But watch those flow charts, learn them, and it's really going to help you become a better fisherman, fisherwoman, and put you on some better fish. And I hope this is helpful to all of you. Go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe. It really helps me out, and it'll help me with my content, you know. All right, thank you, everybody, and I hope this was helpful to you, and it'll help you get some better fish. Goodbye.